What's up guys, Joey from Heart Pirates TCG here. I'm gonna actually start saying my name in my videos because a lot of people that I meet at events call me Heart. So you guys can call me Joey if you guys want to. I guess it just makes it a little bit more personable. However, Chris from the Small Hat Crew said people still call him Small Hat Crew guy. So maybe that won't actually, maybe it won't actually take off. But what I have for you today is a new series called Deck Doctor. And what this is going to be is me going to be making any popular, fringe popular deck, a deck that you guys want to see somewhat relevant in terms of tournament status that you can take to a locals and do decent with to maybe even win. And I want to explain my choices as to why I made this deck. I want to explain my decision making in terms of with the cards that I'm using, the cards I'm not using. I want to explain its strengths and weaknesses, and then I'm going to play a couple games to showcase how it can do into, I guess, somewhat meta decks. I'm also going to be starting a different series where I take I'm not starting, but I'm going to be continuing a different series where I take some of these decks to locals. So some of these Deck Doctor, videos will be videos that I take videos that I do basically this same format, but then I actually take this tournament or to a locals and do almost like a mini vlog type style video. And others will, just be ones that I play on the sim. Sometimes if I don't have access to the cards, I'll just if I don't have all of the cards personally, I'll just make a Deck Doctor video. But if I do have them and I do like playing the deck actually, like legitimately, I will actually bring it to locals and sleeve it up. So with that being said, let me go ahead and show you guys exactly what this deck is, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. Okay, so the overview of this deck is it is very versatile. We can play it very offensively and very defensively at the same time. It is going to be really scary to attack into life because we have a bunch of free bodies that play themselves with the complete, almost complete Land of Wano package with Nekomamushi, we have Denjiro, we have Kikunojo, and then we have Inuyarashi Dogstorm. For those of you guys who don't know, he really doesn't really do a whole lot. He is just because he has a counter, so I value him a little bit more than Kawamatsu, who's a 3/5 with no counter, rather than, a 4/5 with counter. So that's the only reason I'm playing the Dogstorm over the Kawamatsu. And then obviously we have the Momonosuke to really help us kind of put them back into life. A really good thing that you can do with this deck in particular is you can heal twice per turn. So for example, you can boost up, let's say, Nekomamushi to 7k, especially with the starter deck Nami leader, and you can attack with the what is it called? You can attack with the Nekomamushi. You can, let's say, play a Momonosuke, put like an Otama or a Hiyori or maybe even like a Kikunojo at the top of your life, and then you can put the Nekomamushi off your leader effect to the top of your life and boost the Momonosuke to an 8k blocker. That's just one of the many things you can do with this deck. We are playing a total of 12 2k counters, and they are versatile as well. This is kind of like the name of the deck, right? This is kind of what I'm going for, is every time I make a deck, I want it to be at least somewhat viable into a bunch of different matchups. So we are playing 2 Otama because it is a Land of Wano, so you can put it back off Momonosuke if you really want to. Also, you could just use it to fight for board control if you want to as well. Playing Otama -6 something by 2000 power, swinging into it, and then playing Momonosuke, putting it back on your life, using your leader effect, put something else. You can even put the Momonosuke on your life if you want to. That's just like an option you can have. Obviously, sometimes we need trigger bodies, so Satori is just a good option as a 2 of, who's a 2k counter, very versatile. And then obviously the Hiyori, you can stack your life, you can put like Ace on there, and then you can play this the baby Ace to boost your leader to 7,000, play the Ace and have 2 7,000 attacks and your leader 7,000 for the end of the turn. Those are all valid things to have basically. Talk about starter deck Nami is one of the most important parts of this deck. Funny enough, in my red black Sabo video, which is actually coming out soon, by the way, I have a deck list coming for that. I was testing on my Discord, which if you haven't joined, the link's gonna be in the description below. The starter deck Nami, what it does is it allows us, one, to bait people into attack or to popping it. So it takes a lot of Absalom targets early on, which is totally fine, because if they waste Absalom, a lot of times you don't actually kill the Absalom. You just leave it on the board and let them swing into you. And usually, unfortunately, I will say Gecko is probably our worst matchup, because it's a 5 life leader with a lot of counter. Obviously, it plays a bunch of blockers now too, so and it has access to killing your stuff. So Gecko is a little bit of a hard matchup, but it can beat Saka. It destroys Katakuri. This is probably not going to be great into red purple law either. This deck, in my opinion, I'll talk about the weaknesses of it in a little bit, but let me talk about its strengths. Is starter deck Nami, it is really good at just allowing you, like I said, to use your leader effect really early, or earlier than you should be able to. It allows you to basically boost some of these characters up to 7k, with Momonosuke or Denjiro, or obviously put a Dawn, because your leader needs a Dawn on him to activate. And then, you know, if they do decide to pop it, well, that's one less, you know, Absalom that's going into like a Luffy or a Nekomamushi or, you know, Momonosuke, Dogstorm, anything like that. So that is why the starter deck Nami is there for. Also, it's because I have the winner starter deck Nami, which is really nice. So you should definitely play that over the Haruta because it just looks cooler. So it's that simple. We are also playing, we're playing only the Ace rather than the Ace and the Luffy because it just seems like the best target for like, you know, putting something on your life is the Ace because it's like less Dawn requirements. So if Luffy is still really good, right? It's an unblockable character, but like with the Ace, we can actually just play it like swing 7 and then with no Dawn attached to it, just like let's say we swing 7, we have the starter deck Nami. The starter deck Nami puts the rested Dawn you get from Ace on your leader. So on you'll be at, obviously Sabo will be at 6, and then if you're at 7 Dawn, if you play the Ace, swing 7, you play the Ace again, or I'm sorry, swing 7, put it back on top of your life, with your leader, boost something up, let's say whatever, like Nami, doesn't matter, and then you play the Ace. The Ace brings back the Ace that you put on top of your life with Sabo, swing 7 again, and now because you have a Dawn on Sabo and your leader's plus 2000, you can swing 8. So on your 7 Dawn turn with starter deck Nami and these two cards right here, you can swing 7, 7, 8, and that's just in my and have a 7k leader next turn. I think that's really, really, really powerful, and it's a lot better in my opinion than just like playing Luffy and swinging 6, or I guess swinging 7 and then swinging 6, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. And then obviously Shirai is in here for Yamato. It's in here for Katakuri. It's in there for Black Yellow Luffy. That gives us some defense as well as, like I said, the Momonosuke. So that is the overview of the deck as well as its strengths and weakness. Or I'm sorry, that's just the overview of the deck. Let me talk about its strengths first, and then I'll talk about its weaknesses. So the strength is this deck can be very, very, very good into Yamato. It is, in my opinion, a free win into Yamato and close to a free win into Katakuri, because it is just so phenomenally good at being aggressive while also healing, and both of those decks don't really play a whole lot of characters, so you can out heal their aggression and you can be way more aggressive and kill them faster than they can actually be to you and kill you. So that's a huge plus with this deck. It also can be relevant into decks like Sakazuki because they can't actually pop anything because they can't kill Ace if it's always in your life, and they don't play enough bodies early on to actually out pressure you or to out heal. I'm sorry, to basically, they don't play enough bodies early on to outpace the amount of heal that you have. So for example, when you're swinging into their life with Ace or Luffy or, you know, any of your Land of Wano characters and put them back on your life, they have to basically attack into you for you to trigger it again and then remove it, right? Which is obviously, if they attack into you with just their leader, they're missing their -1 with their leader effect, with Sakazuki, for example, because, you know, there's nothing on your board, let's say. And if you time it correctly, for example, if you trigger characters after they're like almost done their turn, then they won't have the Dawn or the cost reduction to actually remove some of these characters on curve, which is absolutely huge. And even let's say if they don't end up like letting you trigger, like if they don't attack into you and you counter out and then they just leave the Nekomamushi on the top, well, you can just heal again. You can play like Kikanojo, put a Dawn on her, and then just heal again with Sabo. So now you're back to like 4 life, maybe even 5 life. Same with Ace. You can swing with Ace, put him back on your life, and then obviously if you have the whole Sabo play, that's huge. So that's a huge strength of this deck. Is this deck is very aggressive, and decks that can't actually put a lot of bodies on the board, you can out heal what they're trying to do. The weaknesses of this deck is any deck that can actually swarm the board early is going to be incredibly difficult to deal with. This deck features basically no removal and relies on attacking targets to actually clear the board. And if they come out as active, which happens with, you know, Gecko Moria and Red Purple Law, for example, it's going to be really tough to actually deal with their board in a efficient way. And then it's going to come down to basically, it feels like you're just racing each other to actually kill them. Sometimes you win it, sometimes you don't, but it doesn't really feel that great in those situations. And it feels like almost like guerrilla warfare, where it's very like smooth brain, it's very simple kind of gameplay, and you guys are both just like beating the living shit out of each other, which in my opinion, sometimes it's fun, but like it's really stressful, and I wouldn't want to go into a 9 or 10 round tournament doing that against like 2 of the most popular decks in the meta, which is going to be Gecko and Red Purple Law. Also, this deck loses to the decks that can out sustain it, like Showtime Crocodile, Yellow Purple Crocodile. So those three matchups right there are a little annoying. Now, I will say, unless the player is a really good yellow purple crocodile, this deck like this deck can beat them. So for example, my practice was playing this deck. I was playing against Jesse Burrell, and he's the guy who won the Arlington, Texas regionals, by the way. And he's in my Discord. We've been like just kind of chopping it up. He's a really cool dude. But he was doing really good with yellow purple crocodile because he was just like very efficient with like his counter events and like when he took life and when he didn't. But a lot of people that aren't that great at the game, even good players, not great players, they're gonna waste a lot of cards and you're gonna be able to actually like squeak out victories over them. But like all the matchups that we played, it felt like it came down to the wire, right? Like he only had like maybe like one or two cards left in hand. But he was able to outlive my aggression. But any other like player like any other of the players that aren't that great, that you'll see early on in tournaments, if they are playing yellow purple crocodile, I do think you can actually win that matchup. It's just if they're really good with the deck or just like really good overall, it's going to be really tough because they're going to be very efficient with their cards. And you know, that's a matchup that's going to come down to like, do they have it or not? And if you can get them to waste a bunch of cards early, if they're like inefficient with their cards, it's going to be a lot easier to deal with that. But a good player obviously I think is favored in that matchup. Also, the last weakness that this deck has is, as you guys can tell, it doesn't have any card draw or any searchers. And the reason being is I want you guys to check it out, right? So it has no real typage that you actually want, or can search for. So for example, Land of Wano, we don't have access to green, so we can't even have like a Momonosuke searcher. Even if we did, we'd have to bottom deck stuff like Ace. We'd have to bottom deck our Luffy. We'd have to bottom deck Nami, Shiraya, Satori, right? There's a lot of cards in this deck that you actually do want to see. And you know, if you did have searchers for it, it would kind of make the deck probably less consistent because all of the cards that you technically could search for, the majority of them, like the Land of Wano cards, you want to actually come out of your life. So you don't actually want to draw any of these except for your 2K counters, which is Hiyori and then Otama, and then also probably the Momonosuke. Everything else you want to come out of your life. So like even if you could search for it, you can't. Why would you want to? I guess if that makes sense. So and also starter deck Nami is a huge part of this deck. So you know, would you rather start out with a searcher or would you rather start out with starter deck Nami? You kind of have to make that decision yourself. So those are the weaknesses of the deck. And I talked about the strengths as well. And we talked about the general overview. Let's actually talk about let's go into some of the gameplay and I'll kind of go over why it is or I guess I'll just show you the strength of it. Guys, I had literally the perfect video showcasing you guys, and I just like literally made the most stupid fucking play right there at the end, because I don't pay attention on the simulator. That actually tilted me, bro, so hard. Like I literally had the most perfect crocodile game to show you guys of how like the deck can like lose or can beat crocodile, and I had 2 extra Dawn. For some reason I swung 7 instead of 9. And this guy only had 2 cards left in hand. Like there was like no reason for me to swing 7. That actually tilted me. But yeah, playing against some dude who's playing Sakazuki. This is definitely not a favorite, or this is definitely the matchup we kind of want to see. So not like we want to see this, but this is one of the ones we're okay with seeing. We put him at 3 life. We're totally fine with that. Whatever. We're looking for our rush aces. We're looking for our little aces as well. Those are really important. Not seeing them definitely sucks. Last game that I got tilted on, I didn't see it either. I had the little ace in hand the entire game, but none of the big aces. And there's just not enough to search for him, unfortunately. There's just like, we're not going to search for him. So this guy just trashes a Helmeppo and swings 9. I guess he just bricks or something. I don't know. Whatever, right? The question is, do we just go like... I think we just play the Hiyori and then put a Dendro at the top. Yeah, I think that's what we do. Yeah, we play the Hiyori and put the Dendro at the top. And then next turn we can we'll take the top life. Okay. Then we'll put that on there. And then next turn we can basically just like heal with Momonosuke. Like we can put 1 on Dendro, 1 on Sabo, swing 7 or 6 and then 7, and then we can heal. He has 6 Dawn here. I think I'm gonna counter out of this one actually. Because Because I think he's going to Rebecca Hina Hound. Actually, if he Rebecca Hina Murakuma Swords, it's totally fine. I'm going to play it. I'm going to force him to do it. If he wants to Rebecca Hina Murakuma Sword, he can. Like, he's not getting anything off of Rebecca, basically. I'm going to save the Rush Luffy in hand till, like, the end of the game, I think. The cool play you can make with Rush Luffy is you can put the... you can basically swing 7 with, like, a Dendro or something like that, and then put the Dendro back... Or, I'm sorry, play the Rush Luffy, put the Dendro back, and then boost Luffy to 2,000, or by 2,000, so he's automatically an 8k, and then obviously, you know, with that, that's without anything at this point. So, okay, so Dendro, okay, this is good, this is good. So we're going to do the exact play that I talked about. So we're going to swing 6 first, swing 6 first, and then 7. All right. Swing 7 into life. Okay, he's going to block that. That's totally fine. I'm going to go ahead and play this guy. Put that guy to the bottom. And then I'm going to put that guy at the top, boost that guy, and then I'll just pass. This is fine. This is fine. Because if he attacks into me, I just take it. Like, if he wants to use his leader effect, I just take it and then play the Dendro. And then there's no way he gets rid of 2 5s with the Gecko. Also, there's nothing for him to get off Gecko anyway. I guess his hand's like super bricked or something. I don't know. And this is all without ace too, by the way. And all of this dead air, by the way, if you can just cut this out, that'd be great. Cass. Basically, like, all this, like, until he makes a play, basically. So, like, right now. Okay, cool. So, he's going to go ahead and swing 5 into me. I'm going to go ahead and take it. There's no reason not to take it. If he wants to play the Gecko, then he's going to be in a world of trouble right here. Which I think I'm okay with. And then I can be aggressive next turn, too. I mean, I wish I found the ace, but I guess we're going to have to rely on a little bit of triggers. Okay, so he's going to play the Borsalino. That's totally fine. I'm going to go ahead and play... I don't know what this card is, do I? I don't think so. I'm going to play it. Take the top life. Oh, it's a Satori. Okay. I'll put another Dendro in there. So I'll swing... Do I save that Luffy? I think I'm going to save the Luffy still. So I'm going to go ahead and do... Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do 9. 9 life. And then do 9 life. Force him to use Borsalino here. Or, not Borsalino, Sabo. Put that on the top. Plus 2,000 Hiyori, it doesn't matter. And yeah, there's not really a whole lot you can do. Because he's just, like, not able to bottom deck a whole lot. You know? And next turn, I'm gonna block one of these. And I'm going to... Do I block one of them? I'm at 4 life. I mean, what can he really do? He does play Ice Age, so he doesn't play the stage version, which means he does have, like... I don't know, he might have another Ice Age, actually. But usually they only play 2, so he probably only has 1. And dealing with 2 5 costs is usually not the easiest. So he pitched a Rebecca. He'll swing 5 into me. And I could trigger it. This is a Dendro, obviously. So if I take this, can he get rid of it is the question. Like, what does he have to get rid of this is my question. Like, because he has to, like, not only does he have to get rid of it, but he also has to establish defense too. So I'm going to go ahead and take it. I'm going to take it. And if he swings with his Borsalino, I'm going to take it as well. Because I know this is another Dendro as well. A Gecko, okay. Rebecca, was this a brand new? He's probably going to Hound Blaze. He's probably going to, yeah, he's going to play Rebecca and then like a brand newer, I guess, or what's in his trash? I guess he could play Helmeppo, and then he could play like a, he can play like a Hina from hand, and then Murakuma Sword them both, I guess. That's like a decent play, and then swing 8. if he wants to swing 8. If he doesn't swing 8, then I'll just go back to 4 life. I'm totally fine with it. Okay, so she took her. She took a Sabo. Is she gonna play a brand new? Okay, well, I guess she has the cost anyway because this is a 2 and this is a 1, so it doesn't matter. She can just Murakuma Sword. Draws into a great eruption, so that's a dead card. Then Murakuma Sword. Okay, doesn't attack at all. That's the only problem with this. This is a little bit gorilla. This is a little bit gorilla, guys. So if I swing 9, I can swing 8 here. The Luffy plus 2 Dawn would be 7. So I could just swing 7, 8. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I'm gonna swing 7. He's probably just gonna block with Rebecca, I assume, right? Yep. I'm gonna swing 9. I'll put the Luffy back. Choose no targets and pass. This is so gorilla, bro. Like, this actually is so stupid, bro. Like, I don't have anything on the board, but he doesn't want to swing into me. This is a trigger. He knows for a fact this is a trigger. This obviously isn't. This obviously isn't. I don't know what this bottom card is. Wish I did know, though. That would be nice. The best I can do is like an 11k swing, though, which does suck. Yeah, Sabo. He has 11 cards in hand, bro. This is rough. Discard double Hina. However, I know one of those is a dead card at least. I know he has a Great Eruption in hand. Okay, play the Shigi. Okay, he grabs a Suru. How many counters has he gone through? He's gone through 1, 2. That's it. So he only has a Suru in hand. I could, however, if he does swing into me twice, I could play the Luffy and then the Denjiro. I'm going to take this. The Denjiro actually could help a lot. If he doesn't get rid of this, though, this is huge. This is huge for me if he doesn't get rid of this. Damn. I was hoping that was a trigger. It's a Great Eruption. Is he going to double Great Eruption? Yeah, double Great Eruption. And Houndblaze it. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but it's whatever. Swing into that guy. He's going to block with Sabo? Ah, funny. 1, 2, 3, 4. Swing 10 into his life. Give me that. I know for a fact he has a Suru right there. All right. Put him on our life. Give that guy +2. And I think we can survive, actually. And we have another Rush Luffy in hand, too. So, because we have 7, 9, 11. Yeah, we can ease. Holy crap. We're actually going to win this game, bro. Because he only has 2 big attacks. And then we have, like, literally, like, 20k in counter. Because we have 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 18 with the disappear. And then, yeah, at literally 20k. Like, we can get out of a 19k attack right here. So if the Gecko Moria, if it puts all of his Dawn in Gecko, we can get out of it. And this is literally without Ace, by the way, guys. We have literally not played Ace yet. Okay, Houndblaze that. The question is, I think we're gonna counter out of this one right here. We're gonna go 0 into Okiku probably. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna take it. 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17. So this is, yeah, I'm gonna take it. Yeah, there's no way. Yeah, let's go, baby. GG's, bro. GG is called, bro. Yeah, I mean, that's the power of this deck. Like I said, like, we can easily beat the Sakazuki, especially, like, we didn't even have ace not one time. Now, he bricked a little bit, but, like, we didn't really have ace either. Like, literally all we had was a bunch of 2K counters. So, like, we basically won that game by just, like, looping, like Denjiros over and over again. But yeah, guys, that's the video. Let me know if you guys like this deck, and let me know if you guys like the concept of this video, and then I'll try to make more like it. So I'll see you guys on my next video. Shout out to all my Patreon people. Shout out to moonlighttcg.com if you guys, those of you guys want to check it out. Got some big things on the horizon there, and peace.